Have you ever wondered what it's like to represent your country for horse riding? Okay, so this video, one of the hardest ones I've ever had to sit down and make. I mean, I phoned prior to making this. Normally I just sit down and I just go blah, blah, blah. Prior to this, I've actually like made a list so I know when things happened. I've spoken to a few people who went through this time period with me, that I'm still really good friends with, just to talk to them about how I even go about it. And I have spoken to them and just come to the conclusion there are things I'm going to miss out within this story, purely for the fact of they're in the past, and I am completely at peace with them now, but they were very tough at the time, and it's difficult, isn't it, to sometimes be completely open about your own truth. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so let's talk about the story of Wish. So Wish was a beautiful black gelding, and there's me saying I've organised myself. I can't remember how old he was when we bought him, but he was training at Inter-1. Sorry, he was competing at Inter-1. So he was a mature lad. And the reason we purchased him was because I had actually purchased a horse before him to do juniors on, to sort of go towards doing the teams, and unfortunately that horse hadn't worked out, so I think I had that horse for only a month and it just didn't work out. So I was kind of a little bit like didn't have a horse basically to campaign for the teams on. So the opportunity came up for me to purchase Wish. Now Wish had already done incredibly well competing. He'd won national titles, and he, well, as you'll see, he's a beautiful, beautiful mover, and he's just such a little lamb. So it seems like the perfect opportunity for me to grasp, and I'm so thankful that my parents gave me that opportunity. My mum was super excited, my dad was excited, and it was just, yeah, it was really exciting to think that I could go and represent my country if all went well. So I got him in 2009, so I was 16 at the time. So how I'll try and explain how the juniors and young riders work. So juniors, you have to be 16 to 18, so I can still compete in juniors on the year of my 18th birthday. So I had 2 years, and juniors is advanced medium level. And had I ridden advanced medium before that? I don't think I had. Don't hold me to this because it's very, very fuzzy. I think Wish was the first one I did an advanced medium on. So I hadn't been long riding horses, and it is a huge jump to go from ponies to horses, especially when you're trying to campaign to then go on to the Great British team. You don't have long either. You have a 2-year period, and I can tell you the show seasons fly past, and you have to get a certain score. So I'm pretty sure it was 69 at that time to then go through to be selected to go international, and then you have to again still be getting those marks international to then get through to go to the Europeans, which was always the big goal. At the end, you also have to compete at 2 internationals in that season, and you have to do well there. So it's basically, there is not much room for it going wrong, because the selectors are looking for the person who is the most reliable, obviously. So it was quite scary. The other thing that I found really difficult was the fact that I had taken the ride over on a horse from someone else. They had built a partnership up, and then the partnership changed to me, and I found that really difficult. he was a big horse as well. And I would say throughout my whole career with Wish, I never felt like I got into his body. And what I mean by that is, you know, where you feel like you gel with a horse and you become one. Never ever had that. Always felt like I was sort of just perched on top, praying it would go right. And I think that's why I really struggled, because I never felt like I got it. And I've spoken about it before. And through the time where I was doing my juniors and young riders, I just wanted to press the pause button and actually go like, no, I want more time. This is too rushed. And I always felt like it was like putting a plaster over things, instead of going like, why is this horse reacting in this way? Why am I riding that? I wanted to like break it down, and I just didn't have the time. So for example, things like Wish had this bit of a big complex with Rainback. And he definitely got better, because I was really blasé about it, and he was like, okay, it's fine, it's cool. And he definitely got better, but that was one of those things that I was always trying to like just cover up, and I never felt like he really relaxed into it. The other one as well that I've got on camera, and I'm showing you now, is walk to canter. Again, he had a bit of a complex about walk to canter. So that was something that I was always feeling I was covering up. And when you know that there's not much room for error, that's really difficult mindset wise to go into it and be like, it's okay, blasé, la la, because it's not blasé. And although, you know, you I think when you're doing the GB stuff, you know that you have a long career ahead of you, but that's not what everyone's talking to you about. That's not what everyone's focusing on about. And then, of course, that's not what I was focusing on about. So it was really, really difficult. So, 2009, I got Wish. 2010, I'm pretty sure, so 17, I didn't do any internationals then. I think, again, I was just getting to grips with him. So in 2011, is it, when I was 18, gosh, I really hope I start getting these dates right. Yeah, so 2011, I did 3 internationals. So I represented my country for the first time in 2011, 3 times in that year. First one was Addington International. So that's like a home international, because it's a good way, I always think, to kind of get yourself into it. You don't have to travel abroad. And I actually did really well there. I came 3rd, I'm pretty sure, in the individual test. I can't remember how I did in the team test. Again, I think I came 3rd. I know that I did pretty well. I've tried to look at the results, by the way, but I can't find them anywhere. They're not on the BD records. So yeah, that happened, and that was really special. And I remember it just being really exciting, getting to sew my flag on for the first time. And like hearing the national anthems, and okay, it wasn't playing for me because I wasn't in first place, but you know, it's still really cool. Doing like the trot up and stuff was really exciting, and it was just that team spirit. And the thing I do want to say about doing the young riders and juniors and stuff, I absolutely made some amazing friends, and everyone was so nice. Like all the riders that I was competing against, they were so friendly, so supportive, because we were all sort of in the same situation, and nobody was like cutthroat and like, I'm going to beat you, I want to get on the team. It was very much like we all cheered each other on, and when someone didn't do so well, we all supported each other. So that was absolutely incredible. So anyway, back to 2011, I did Addington first, which was more at the beginning of the year. And then I'm pretty sure Compiègne came next, and that is in France. Gosh, I really hope I'm getting this right. So Compiègne is in France. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos from that, which sucks. But yeah, that didn't go so well. Yeah, that was not such a good show. And then after that, I went to Morcel, which is in Belgium. And that I did much better in. I'm pretty sure I was the top Brit in the individual. I think I came 6th, which was really cool. But again, as well, like you know, I talk a lot about mindset. Definitely in those shows, definitely in those situations, I did not feel good enough. You're always chasing a mark, you're always chasing to be better and better and better, and I just felt like I wasn't good enough, which was really tough. And I think that's why I don't have many pictures, I haven't saved the videos, because I was sort of ashamed of how I was riding. All I would do, like I mentioned in the last vlog I did, was stare at how I was riding, and I was like, it's not good enough, it needs to be better, which is so sad because I'm representing my country at 18. Yeah, it was 18, 2011, which is like, ooh, be happy for yourself. Anyway, after that, you then jump into young riders. So you go from advanced medium to PSG, and I can say that this is one of the biggest leaps you can do in level wise for a rider. And so that was a big shock. And again, what I've mentioned about Wish is that I really just never felt like I got into him. The pirouettes were very difficult, collection was difficult for him. So I never felt like I could set it up. I never felt like I could really get into him. Also, yeah, when I went into Young Riders, I changed trainers and I changed where I had been based. So I started training with Charlotte. So again, you're changing trainers, that's a big thing. You're changing level, that's a big thing. And that was, yeah, definitely difficult. So that's 2012. I didn't do any internationals then because, again, I was just getting used to the level. And I thought, right, I'm just going to use this year because, sorry, I didn't explain that part. You've got from 18 to 21 in Young Riders, so you've got a little bit longer. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to use the first year to kind of get used to everything. And then in 2013, sorry, I did an international at Hickstead. So I actually did an international at Hickstead in 2014 and 2013. Yeah, this is so difficult to remember, which was really, really cool. I think the struggle I had with the Young Riders, and it was really hard, is Wish was intermittently on and off lame, which was so difficult because basically this happened 2 times. It happened a lot. I was just gearing up. I got long listed for the Europeans, which basically means you have to start campaigning, you have to go abroad, you have to start like showing you can get the marks, which is really cool. And every time I got long listed and I was gearing up to go to a show, Wish would go lame, which was such a kicker, because it's like you have this plan and then it gets snatched away from you. And then you go, now what do I do? And I know it's not the be all or end all because your riding career is very long, but in that moment it's really difficult to kind of deal with. Anyway, we managed to get him going for the Hickstead shows, and I have got a video. The only video I've got of me riding internationally is at Hickstead, and the team test went well. I remember doing well in that. I think I came 3rd or 2nd, can't remember. So that was cool. Did the individual, that was cool. And so freestyle is on the last day, and I had a right nightmare in the freestyle. So they have this holding arena at Hickstead that you go into. That you go into 5 minutes before you go into the main arena. So I was in the holding arena, and all of a sudden this commotion kicked off, and I could see these flames, and it was like this big bang, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? Basically, where the power source had been, it had blown up. Dramatic, I know. So everyone's all kicking off, and I was meant to be going next in, and I was like, what are we going? So anyway, I had to walk around for ages while they sorted that out. And then because it's a music class, we obviously needed the power. So they hooked it up into the standby power. I'm not really sure what that is. And so I went in and I started my music. And I was all not quite in the right headspace because obviously that had just happened. And I was listening to my music and I was like, this doesn't sound right. I was like, it's my music, but it doesn't sound right. I was like, I swear it's fast forwarding slightly. And then I was only halfway through my trot work and the walk kicked in and I was like, nah. I was like, this is wrong. So anyway, I had to stop the music, and you're not really allowed to do that unless the music completely breaks. You can get eliminated. So there was that thing of, am I going to get eliminated? Am I going to be able to carry on? And I basically just said that the music's fast forwarding. This is not right. So luckily they let me start again. And yeah, I was quite flustered by that point, but we carried on. And I don't think I did badly there, but obviously that's not great. And that was the last time that I competed Wish internationally.
Don't take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life, hey. Taking just don't be and live my life. Don't take it personal, we just building. It's my season, lay foundation, make a name for generations, please and make a, then take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning, or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me, yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life.
Making moves, trying to get away from this life I'm living. Same old things every day, wanna change this feeling. Wasting no more time, don't care about what you're saying. Try to keep me down, no time for all your playing. Yeah, even if you doubt me now, you should know I don't care about the things you say. Yeah, I don't even know what I want no more, no more, no more, yeah. I'ma figure out what to do with all my time, my new life, yeah. I don't even know what to do right now, make some new ones. Sun is up, I'm wide awake. We're not getting younger. If you still love me, then please just let me go. I won't stay with you, I need to live my own life. Yeah, even if you doubt me now, you should know I don't care about the things you say. Yeah, I don't even know what I want no more, no more, no more. Yeah, I'ma figure out what to do with all my time, my new life. Yeah, I don't even know what to do right now, right now, right now. Yeah, I'ma figure out what to do with all my time, my new life. Yeah, I don't wanna try again, try again, try again, try again. I don't wanna try again, try again. I don't wanna try again, try again, try again, try again. I don't wanna try again, try again. Don't wanna do this again. You must have felt this coming. Can we just leave it right here, never to touch it again? Yeah, even if you doubt me now, you should know I don't care about the things you say. I don't even know what I want no more, no more, no more. Yeah, I'ma figure out what to do with all my time, my new life. Yeah, I don't even know what to do right now, right now, right now. Yeah, I'ma figure out what to do with all my time.
And after all this, again, he went lame, and he had underlying issues. You know, he'd competed at that level for a long time, and it was really, really, really disheartening to have to retire him. But I knew that that horse had given me and given other people so much in his life. So he retired at our house, at my parents' house, and he had such a wonderful time. He hadn't really been in the field much in his life. So even before he retired, we started turning him out, and he was really happy with that. But anyway, he got to retire in the field, and I actually got back on him 6 months into his retirement just to do a bridal shoot. Don't worry, I didn't get married. To do a bridal shoot, and not a funny story. It was actually really scary. We fell in the lake, which is behind me, because he spooked at something. I don't recommend doing that. I don't have any pictures of that, but I do have pictures of the actual bridal shoot, which was really fun to do. And he was totally fine, by the way, after he'd fallen in the lake. It's like a gradual going in, and it's not that deep. But yeah, I had to kind of dry myself off from pondweed, put another dress on, and we carried on. He retired, and then a year into his retirement, maybe a bit longer, he just deteriorated quite a lot. And I think the moment where I knew that it wasn't really fair is I was watching him in the field, and he couldn't get down to roll. And then I went, no, his life he's not enjoying himself. And then when I was walking him out to the field, he was really struggling, and I was like, no, that's time to say goodbye. And again, like I said on Ali's story, it's so difficult to have to make the decision to put them down. But again, it's the horse's best interest at heart. So yeah, that is the story of Wish and I. So that is my story with Wish, guys. I really hope you enjoyed listening to it. And again, like I mentioned in the Ali story, it's so important to look at the mindset behind all this, because I was at 18 was the first time I represented my country. At 18, I was representing my country. I had the British flag here. It was there. And on my horse's number. And I felt like poo. And I felt like I wasn't good enough, and I was always chasing the future, and I was always thinking, when I start riding like this, I'll be happy. When I get that mark, I'll be happy. When I do this, I'll be happy and I'll be proud of myself. But what I've now learned is you have to be in the moment. You have to go like, what am I proud of in this moment that I'm doing? I need to enjoy this time because the future is never certain. And I think definitely with Wish's story, I learned that. I was like, when I go to the Europeans, I'll be happy. When we do this at international, I'll be happy. And then he went lame. Yeah, it was really difficult because I never made it to the when this happens. Of course, I had the rest of my career in front of me, but then to represent your country at a senior level is a big gap in between. Not for everyone, but for me there is, because I still haven't done it yet, but I will. So yeah, I just want you guys to take away from my story, whatever age you are, please just enjoy the moment you're in. It doesn't matter. Again, I said this in Ali's, it's not the fact that I was representing the country that is the part where I'm like, oh, I wish I enjoyed it. It's the fact that I just wish I'd enjoyed it wherever I'd been. So if I had been doing a prelim, I wish I'd enjoyed it. When I was taking the young horses out for the first time, I wish I had enjoyed it, and patted myself on the back and gone, it's okay, little Olivia, you're doing so well. Because unfortunately, when I was younger, yeah, my mum was incredibly supportive, but you know, like loads of teenagers now out there, you don't listen to your parents, do you? You're like, you gotta say that, you're my mummy. But I didn't have that supportive system around me at that age. So basically what I'm doing here is I want to be that person for you behind the camera. I want to be that person that is cheering you on, supporting you, giving you in case you don't have that person, in case you at the moment are surrounded with people that might be telling you otherwise. And that is why, again, you know, so much of my social media comes from, and I think you guys will be understanding my story of why I'm so passionate about cheering people on now, because I had that missing around those years. But anyway, that's the end of it. Please do leave a comment, give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe and welcome to the family. And yeah, I will be bringing you next either Baby Wish or Baby Wilfred or Digda. But anyway, yeah, goodbye.